This is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night. Hello yogis and welcome to the Yogic Body Studio. My name is Jessica Palmer and I am the owner and creator of the Yogic Body online and in studio. Join me today as we unroll our mat to go through several of the most fundamental poses from standing that I urge every new beginner to try before they begin their yoga practice. So let's begin at the top of our mats, coming now to mountain pose. Option to bring big toes to touch here at the top of the mat, or knock your heels 2 fist width distance apart. Slowly beginning now, grounding through the feet, even footing here. Noticing here if your feet are triangles, thinking of the beds of the feet here, 2 points, down to the heel, a 3rd point. Can you ground through your triangles here on either foot? Tuck now your pelvis under. If you feel any crunching in the low back, I noticed through my yoga practice that I would always have crunching here and a little discomfort. So slowly, if it helps, place one palm on your pelvis and one palm on your low back and gently tuck your tail under as though your hips are a bowl losing water. Activating here your glutes and thighs, drawing, softening your shoulder forward, gently tuck the chin. Mountain pose. If I were to take a stick or a staff to your back, would you have one line here from the crown of your head to the backs of your heels? Keeping this alignment with us as we stand tall, unclenching the toes and placing them back down on the mat. Join me now as we come into yet another foundational yoga pose here on our mat. Chair pose, starting right where you are, bending the knees, sinking hips to heels, and guiding palms up and high or down to heart center. Option again to keep your feet 2 fist width distance apart, or join me in traditional chair pose with our big toes to touch. Dropping our weight here into our heels, again unclenching toes away from the mat, tucking our tail ever so slightly, activating our thighs here, drawing shoulders, softening them down the back, chest forward. So here again, chair pose. Softening your jaw, easy gaze ahead. And join me back, mountain pose. Exhale. Bringing again, palms at your sides, tucking your tail, shoulders draw down the back. So here again, mountain pose to chair. 2 very foundational yoga poses in our standing series. Now join me now as we come into a warrior 1. So you're welcome to fold forward or join me from standing as we draw now our left leg up high off the mat and bring it on back to the back of our mat. Drawing this blade edge of the left foot at a 45-degree angle to the back of the mat and squaring the hips off to the front of the room. Now you might feel that you'd like to come off of kind of like a tightrope that you're on here. So widen your stance. No shame in the game. Give a little more room here for the hips. I know I love to have a little more room. So widen your stance here, walking your right foot, even though it's pointing straight, walking your right foot just a hair to the right. Squaring hips off, ensuring here that your right knee is stacked over right ankle. Finding your variation of the arms, palms at heart center. Little yogis with attitude, tuck the tail, or guide your palms up and high. Finding whichever variation works here for you. Taking one big deep inhale, growing tall through, again, the tips of the fingers and sinking straight down. Guiding palms back to heart center, look to the top of your mat, step, and find chair pose. Just like we did before, as the big toes come to touch, tuck your tail under, soften your shoulders, chest pulls forward, gently tuck your chin, draw your weight into your heels. Are you feeling it already? Take one more big breath and join me now as we find warrior 2. Slowly again, peel your left foot off the mat, stepping your left foot to the back of the mat. ensuring now that the blade edge of your left foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Keeping now, a little different from Warrior One, keeping now heel to heel alignment here between the right heel and left heel. Ensuring again that our right toes are pointed forward, right knee over right ankle. And different here where the right hip comes forward, left hip comes back, squaring the hips. Stack shoulders over hips, palms out to our sides, extended long, like here on a surfboard, yeah? Taking 2 deep rounds of breath in Warrior Two. Again, another foundational yoga practice from standing. And slowly, yogis, join me as we bring palms to heart center. Step to the top of your mat, mountain pose. So you see here how postures get linked together in this dance of yoga. Let's come into one final posture from standing, here in tree pose. This is one of our balance. And as we begin yoga, some postures, almost all of the postures, feel like a balance practice. But here is our tried and true foundation to our balance practice from standing. Join me now as we kickstand, first maybe the right foot, down to the mat, right foot to the calf, or right foot into the thigh. Easy does it here. It's almost mandatory that you wiggle and wobble as you begin this practice. Option to bring palms to heart center, raise your palms up and high, or find a funky variation, maybe even bound behind you. Dropping one hand, raising the opposite arm up and high. It's also an additional challenge here in tree pose to close your eyes or raise your gaze, but that will come in time. Slowly here, taking one more deep inhale from tree, and with control, allowing your right foot to come back down to the mat, mountain pose. So yogis, again, you can see how we intertwine these postures and we flow through these postures on our mat. As we have covered here, mountain to chair to Warrior One and Two, and then finally to tree pose. I urge you all, please do come to your mat and try these postures. It is with a beginner's mindset that we have to approach any new practice, and especially yoga. It's easy to also think about all of the postures that we haven't yet covered, our breathing technique, our mantras, our mindset, being present, meditation. It's easy to feel bogged down by all of these practices of yoga, but it is, dare I say, a practice for that very reason. We have to return to it. So it is a discipline in this way, returning to the mat and getting better with time, finding ease and peace of mind with time, finding deeper and deeper breaths and inhales with time. Yogis, do not hesitate to contact me with any and all questions that you have for beginning or continuing your yoga practice, especially here with us in the studio. I am so incredibly thankful that you tuned in today to begin your yoga practice. There is no time like the present. Join me next time as we dive into postures from seated and reclined that I think are so important, again, to beginning your yoga practice. Thank you for joining me, yogis. Namaste.